See you later too, Chie. Chicka bow bow. Let's see, according to this... Oh, today's when I'm supposed to do Nanako again. Right? It looks like that all says Naoto I wrote down, but that's impossible, so it definitely says Nanako. But I've already done her extra bit, so I'm gonna read to make up for my books that I have not been reading. And that actually finishes off my first sheet. My first double-sided sheet of tips is finished forever! Yay! And I never need to look at it again. Maybe. Possibly. Welcome home! Well, I've already done you. I'm caught up where I need to be with you, so... Let's go read. Anything in the fridge? No. Oh, but I like fridge. Oh well. We need to catch up on our books. This will put us one behind schedule? I think? I don't know. Okay, at this point we kind of have to delve into one of these. Reading to help boost understanding more when folding cranes. Well, I want to fold cranes, so yeah, let's do easy origami. Yep. Cool. You decide to continue reading Easy Origami. According to the book, the way you fold your pattern will drastically change how the final product looks. You read on, hoping that it will help you to learn different ways. There's still some pages. Yep. I kind of thought in my first playthrough, like, oh, there might be a book that lets me read two at once. And I was right, but I thought we might get it early enough in the game that, that we could actually make use of it. But, like, by the time we get it, it is useful, but by the time we get it, we need to have done some reading already, otherwise we're not going to have enough time, really. Anyways, hi there.
Where'd the manners come from?
Was that even a snork? Was that really a snork? It was like a harr! Didn't sound like a snork. A snork was like, or something, but meh.
I mean, I've only met him twice.
That really is probably my favorite, twist in the game. Well, I mean, that's not to say I don't like the twists with Daichi and Namatame and stuff, but that was the twist that, you know, I predicted for a long time, but I kind of thought it was a crack prediction. Like after so long, nobody brought it up. I was like, it's just not going to be true. And then when we got to the dungeon, it seemed like, oh wait, maybe this is true. No, really? And then we got to the end, and I was just like, it's true! Oh my god, yeah! And I rarely ever have that feeling, that super satisfied, oh my gosh, I like didn't see it coming and yet I did and it was awesome. I actually have a bit of an issue with the Adachi's reveal. I've been thinking a lot about it, like ever since I played that part. Like, was that handled well? And the answer is yes and no, but maybe I'll just talk more about that when I get there, but... Also, things are going to be different when I get there because I know Adachi Social Link auto-advances after a certain point. But, nah, that'll be interesting, but, nah. I guess I could just talk about it now, since I brought it up and I'm thinking about it. My issue with Adachi is that you're supposed to guess who it is when there's very few clues. Yeah, that's my big problem with it, because at that point, you're kind of just, like what I did, I didn't know who it would be, but they forced me to pick somebody, and even though they listed every single character as a suspect in the freaking game, I'm pretty sure was on that list, for some reason, like, it just seemed like, if you had to pick somebody, who do you think it would be? And he was the one I zeroed in on, and then when I said that, they were like, oh yeah, that's right, and then they started explaining why it makes sense, and I'm glad that they started explaining the reasons, and they were good reasons. My issue is that I didn't have that big holy shit moment. It was more of a random guess, and then they're like, yeah, maybe, and then as I heard that, I'm like, wait, is this true? And they talked more, and I'm like, wait, is this really true? And then it kind of just happened, and I'm like, oh, but it was lacking that moment that I felt like there could have been. And part of that maybe was that they gave you a choice, although part of it was probably how they handled the choice. Because if they didn't give you a choice, I could tell you a million other ways they could have done it better. I also think Dojima should have been involved in exposing him. I think that would have been really good. Granted, I think Dojima should have been, involved in the game more than he was, period. But, I've went over that plenty. But if you want to, like, what really got me thinking was how would they keep the choice, but still keep it, like, give you that wah moment, like, let you figure it out, but still give you the wah, because that's like the balance. Because you want to have that wah moment, like when you put it together in your head and like, it is him! Oh! And it just didn't happen for me. I feel like if they made you pick a reason, that's one way they could have done it. Like, you have to pick the person, and then, okay, what are the reasons you think? Maybe that's too complicated, but I don't know, it would give more of a wah moment. Another option is let them talk a little bit more first, maybe clue you in a bit more of who it is, like them actually make progress in their talking, and then give you the choice when it's a bit more obvious. Which, I mean, granted, at that point, maybe it's a bit more obvious for you to make the choice, but at that point, you might have already had the big revelation, and it gives you more motive. Now, they wouldn't have made it so obvious that there's no point in the choice, but they would have made it obvious enough, I feel, that if you've been paying good attention, you could pick them, you would still have that wall moment, like, oh! But if you haven't been paying attention, you're forced to pick them, and it's whatever, but then that would also make sense. So, I feel like, yeah, part of it is either A and or B, they could have given you, like, you had to pick the reasons after picking him, or they could have talked a bit more about who it could be before you made your choice, or they just don't give you a choice. I mean, if they gave you a choice, like, that makes it a bit trickier to make sure you don't spoil the reveal, but, but if they don't give you a choice, they definitely could have done it quite a few better ways, but if they're giving you a choice, that's when it becomes a bit trickier, which I'm not against, because it's a video game, you want to make the choice, you're trying to be the deductioner, but, I feel like one or the other of those could have helped make it better. Anyways.
I've never talked about any of this stuff before.
So after looking at TV Tropes, I found out that people are very split on what Kanji's deal is. In fact, I've even gotten some comments saying that. Like, I've gotten a commenter saying, Kanji's totally straight. It's just, like, maybe it comes off as he's kind of girly, but he's totally straight. And then I've seen some things where people are like, okay, he's full-blown gay. No, he's bisexual. I've seen varying things. To me, it's pretty apparent that he's bisexual. Also, the voice actor, Troy Baker, even said that he played Kanji assuming he was gay. So, there's that. The word of, what is it, Dante? Something like that. No, not Dante, but, I don't know. The point is, he went into the role assuming he was gay, so he played him as if he was gay. Yeah, to me, he's bisexual, because he's clearly shows that he's into guys, he shows the signs, and yet when it's revealed down to as a girl, he's still into her, so, bisexual. Pretty simple, in my opinion, but, nah.
Guess I never had anyone to tell it to.
I also found out that a lot of the Naoto kanji scenes are exclusive to the golden version, because there was a bit of shipping for it in the original, but not much. But the pairing was actually kind of popular with the fandom, which is why they put in a lot more teas for it in this game. So that's kind of neat. I like it. I ship it. Speaking of Naoto, there's also some debate about what's up with him, her, but I mean, I guess I could talk about that now, or I could just wait for Naoto to join my party, but that's a while from now. I might forget about it by that time, so maybe I should just talk about it now. That's the reason I was talking about Adachi now. Yeah, hit him over the head with a TV. I guess I will just talk about it now. Why not? Get all these things on my chest that are, like, I'm thinking about right now. Might as well, right? I'll forget about them by the time I get to Naoto, possibly. So yeah, Naoto, and to be fair, we've already met Naoto a little bit. Obviously Naoto, well, no, actually, to me, Naoto's deal is a bit more complicated than Kanji's. Because some people are like, oh, she's a cross-dresser. And that's part of her character. Other people think, like, she's kind of transgender, like, she doesn't identify one way or the other. Like, she kind of doesn't want to be strapped down by gender. She just wants to be thought of as Naoto. She's a detective, but it's not a she, it's not a he, it's just neutral. Then there's, the third approach, which I think is what they were going for, but it's, she wants to be a female, but because of her profession and stuff, she decided she had to masquerade herself as a male to be taken seriously, but over the course of the game, like, we talk to her, and through her social link, she comes to the terms with, it doesn't matter, if people don't take me seriously, I am who I am, And if I want to be female, I can be female. It shouldn't matter if I'm female and I want to be detective. I can be a detective and female at the same time. I feel like that's the approach they were going for. That's what I got from it. She was trying to masquerade because she thought that's the only way she could be taken seriously. And then afterwards, she kind of decided to herself, no, I can do this without having to masquerade. I can be true to myself, kind of. That's not to say she wanted to be girly or anything, but, like, she had some tomboyish tendencies, but she still accepted that she was a girl, and she was fine with that. And you can even see in the epilogue of this game that is Golden exclusive, she looks really feminine. She's actually trying out some feminine outfits. So I'm pretty sure that's what they were going for. But I've seen people arguing the other 2 points, and the whole thing of not identifying with either gender, I can see that one. I can understand why some people make that point. Because there is some sense to that. Although that's kind of debunked a little bit if you consider that she's kind of into me. Although maybe that could be argued as being gay and straight at the same time, if that's a thing. Or you could, but then there's also the argument you make with the epilogue, which is Golden exclusive, which kind of pushes the third theory a little bit more. The first theory I kind of disagree with. The fact that she wants to dress up as a boy. Because I feel like a lot of the points in the game bring up the fact that no, she doesn't. She's doing it only because she feels it's necessary. I feel like that's brought up enough where that can be debunked. But if you want to go ahead and think that, then fine, by all means. But unfortunately, we don't have any official word from the voice actor because we don't even know who the voice actor is. I remember I had a theory that it was Kurapika from the new Hunter x Hunter dub, and maybe it still is, but the voice actor apparently remained anonymous, at least in these original games. A lot of the spin-offs, they have somebody new, or maybe it's the same person, but only now she's saying it's who she is, which, who can say, right? Oh, fool social link. That's right. Oh, that's another thing about Adachi that I never noticed. I only realized when I was looking it up. Adachi is the Jester social link, which is card number 0. And the Fool social link, which is our group social link, is also card number 0. Which, you know, kind of foreshadows that. Good thing I didn't pay too much attention to that. Otherwise, I might have been like, wait a second, is this a real thing? And it is. Another thing is that the Fool and the Jester are kind of, like, they're both fools in a sense, right? The Fool and the Jester, they're kind of different kind of clowns. So they're kind of like similar but different, which is, you know, kind of what the deal is between us and him. Yeah, I'm not alone in thinking that he's kind of like the anti-Yosuke. I looked through TV Tropes, and a lot of people agree. In some ways, he's kind of the anti-hero, but a lot more, he's the anti-Yosuke, which I find very interesting. Apparently, in the anime version, from what I've read, Kubo is kind of the anti-Yu. Like, Yosuke is still kind of the anti-Adachi, but Kubo is kind of like your anti-part, which is interesting. And I would have, that might be neat to check out. It also would have been neat if we just got more, you know, less, like more development with all those characters who are supposed to be fugly, but nah.
Think we're wrong about this one too?
We're wrong about everything. Even if we're right about it, it never matters. Because something I was thinking about, actually, I'm going to have to get back to this to be entirely sure. But until the whole reveal with Namatame, we had no idea what was going on. I mentioned this before, but every time we have one of these meetings, nothing really matters that we say. Like, it never advances. And you know what the thing was that actually let us find out about Namatame? You know what it was? It was the police. Specifically, I'm pretty sure it was Adachi. And maybe Dojima in a way. Because it was when I was being held there, it was announced, you know, Nanako was being kidnapped or whatever. Which I've heard the fandom is kind of angry at Dojima for. According to TV Tropes, people are mad at Dojima because he was negligent, leaving her home alone. But, like, he didn't know. The case was solved as far as he was aware. So, like, no, if you're going to be mad at anyone, be mad at the main characters. He thought the case was solved. I don't think it's bad on him. Was it kind of shitty to leave her alone? Maybe, but, you know, if you're going to be mad at him, you got to be mad at the main characters. That out of the way, what was it? Anyways, he had me at the station, and he actually was looking into, like, maybe the killer still being out there, even though the case was supposed to be closed. He was possibly looking into open-ended angles. He was the one who kind of figured that, you know, Namatame might be involved, like him and a few other suspects. And Adachi also pointed that out. Funny, because again, he's the one who kind of saves the day in a funky way. He's the one who makes the most progress. He's the one who gives us the important clue at the end of the game, and he kind of clues us into Namatame. And that's what really gives us the break. That's when we're like, oh, this is the killer. If I hadn't been confronted by Dojima at least a little bit, if Adachi hadn't been there to put us in the right direction, we would have just been stuck, going in there doing the same old thing. Dojima wouldn't have caught on to Namatame. Nanako would have just been thrown in there. Would have went and had another dungeon like usual. Saved Nanako. Namatame wouldn't have been in there though. And then it would have just went on from there. It's only because the shove we got a little bit from getting confronted by Dojima and from Adachi that we actually managed to even get that far. And then later, it's the only time we ever really make any progress by ourselves is with actually figuring out that it's Adachi. And that's the player's choice. It's not the characters figuring it out. They don't actually put the pieces together and tell us as the player, like, it's probably him. But,
Welcome back.
Welcome back to you two. Let's see, what does the survey say? Survey says, oh, we're doing Hero again. We're doing Dojima. Oh, that was fast. These were fast plants. Well, we're doing them again. We actually get to hear great vegetables. Perfect timing. Come on, do it.
They look good.
I'm waiting for it. Give it to me, Dojima. Give it to me. Hard and fast and long. I don't swing that way, but I want it.
Great vegetables.
Ah, yes. Alright. None of the other lines matter. I didn't want Nanako. I can never unhear that. I didn't want her in my life. I didn't choose to have her in my life. She was thrust upon me. Forced to have a new little sister. I'm also apparently not alone in thinking that she tastes like diabetes. I forgot that's what the trope was called. I mean, yeah, she's also kind of just too suish because it's not just that she's too cute. She's also, like, super good at a lot of things. But yeah, there's a trope called Tastes Like Diabetes. It's when, I don't know why it's called that, but it's when something is too cute. Like, too cute to the point that it kind of grosses you out. And Nanako is kind of that. But also she's suish because she's kind of really good at almost everything. Not everything. Then there are random things that she knows nothing about, but that's also kind of suish because it's like, oh, isn't she the precious little girl who doesn't know things and it's cute? So, anyways, we're supposed to hang out with you. Let's do it.
Hey.
What's wrong, bored? Might get along well. It's gonna become closer soon. Will you spend time with Dojima? Let me just double check, check. I'm on... Okay, I'm supposed to be doing hero number 4. This is hero 4, so... Is that what I'm on? Yes, it is. I gotta make sure, because I was ahead of Nanako. I didn't realize I was ahead, but anyways, yes.
Hey.
It's gonna become closer. Spend time. Have a seat. Cool. Oh, coffee! We got some hard stuff on this day's episode. Oh, guys, instant though. How do you take it? Black with cream and sugar surprise me. I want to say surprise me. Honestly, I don't take it, but... What does the survey say? Survey says 2 or 4. Okay, 2 or 4. So, he likes cream apparently. Let's do surprise me. Alright, I'll pour you a good one. Dojima looks like he's having fun. Yeah, let him experiment. Play around.
Dad!
The news is starting. Coffee, can I have some? When you're 6 years old? Are you crazy? Sure thing. Plenty of sugar and cream, right? Well, yeah. Yeah! That's funny. Go watch TV with Nanako. I'll bring it to you when it's ready. You don't have to do that. Thank you. So, thank you? No? You don't have to do that. Well, I guess that's true. You don't have to do that, apparently. Be tsundere. Oh, no, it's okay. Making the coffee's my only job around here. I think I picked that last time, too. Yuma's smiling gently. When I got married, her mother made me promise one thing. Yeah, I've seen a lot of, not just at that one scene where they got mad at Dojima for leaving her alone when, I think it's because he read the note and the note said there was like, you know, someone close to you will be abducted. And yeah, it's a bit dumb that he left him alone, but you can also blame Renegade for that one. However, people said in general they thought it was kind of bad that Dojima constantly leaves Nanako alone at night. But here's the thing. First of all, I'm here with her now, and second of all, he's on the job. Like, he can't help it. It sucks, but there's not much he can do. Should he hire a sitter or something? Sure, but that's the kind of thing that I can overlook, as opposed to the thing with the police, which is very, very hard for me to overlook. But, I guess teach their own. Some people are fine with the police, and it's hard for them to overlook Dojima leaving Nanako alone, even though it's part of his job, and maybe, like, they're not in a good money position, he can't really afford a sitter. Maybe that means he should send him to child services, but at least for now, I'm here, so I can help. Am I old enough to stay home alone? I think so. But, I mean, yes, there's a killer on the loose, but there's sides to the story. The point is, I'm in the worst position, because if I told them soon enough, they could have ended the game in, like, 45 minutes. I got a comment about that. Yeah, tell them right away, case is solved right away, nothing to worry about. Although the comment went on to say you have to get put into witness protection because of stuff, and you never see your friends again. This game is happy end, question mark? And that was kind of funny, I gave myself a chuckle, but nah. Point is, everybody's at fault, I guess. I don't know. She said this is all I have to do around the house, but nobody else can do it. Well, you know, it's a habit now. Jima looked a bit embarrassed. I like him. I like him a lot, which is why I'm so sad that he never found out the truth. So unexpected said Dojima grew closer to him. You know what? Headcanon. I'm gonna say that, first of all, headcanon would be he finds out the truth at the time around the time Nanako gets kidnapped. That should have been when he found out the truth. But assuming that doesn't happen, I want to say he finds out the truth after I leave. Like, after things have been sorted out, maybe I give him a talking to? I don't know. Headcanon, he finds out the truth. I feel like he has to. He has to! I will not be satisfied with this game, with finishing this game until he finds out the truth. If that means he never finds out, then I have to just say he has to, and just pretend he doesn't. Or pretend he does when he does. I have to, what's it called, retconning it in my head? Fan in discontinuity, or in continuity, or, I don't know what the term is. Anyways. It's the thing where you trick yourself into believing something is true even though it's not. I have to trick myself into believing Dojima found out through the course of the game. I have to tell myself that enough times, and then maybe it'll be true. It's the only promise I can really keep these days. Sit over there. You watch TV together. Now our next story. Yeah. If I had to pick my favorite character, I mean, it's probably Chie, but, I mean, I feel like that's cheating because I spent so much time with her. I guess it's, I don't know, Namatame and Adachi, I really like their stories. It might be Dojima. I guess if I had to toss it up, it'd be Namatame, Adachi, Dojima. They all kind of, like, all their stories a lot. And then there's Chie, kind of. Like, if I had to pick a favorite, it'd be up there with those people. And then, of course, if I had to go from there, I like Ko a lot. I mean, it's a bit unfair to pick at this point because I have to finish all the social links, but I like Ko a lot. I like Rise a good bit. I feel kind of sad that I broke her heart. And I like Mary, and those are probably my tops. Oh, Naoto, I forgot about Naoto. Yeah, I like Naoto a lot. Naoto's up there as well. It's just Naoto I don't like romantically, even though I might pursue that in this playthrough just to see what can happen, but Naoto I feel like is more of a friend than a romantic interest. Even though originally the favorite pairing was player character and Naoto, but personally, I'd rather ship him with Chie, but other than that, I'd rather ship him with Rise, or even Mary, but that's just me. In the outskirts of Oki today, a woman bicyclist was hit by a car and died on the scene. Oh, that's fun. Now they could turn the TV off. Yeah, hitting by cars, hit and run. Oh boy. It was because they showed a story about a traffic accident. Mom died in an accident. I don't remember it, and Dad won't talk about it. Yup. You watch some more TV with Nanako before going to your room.